To survive and thrive, manual QAs need to get into automation. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 tips that are going to help you on your journey to becoming an automation engineer. Most QAs never figure this out, but if you get it right, you'll stand out quick. So if you're a QA who wants to future-proof your career and build solid skills, this video is for you. Every day, AI gets more and more advanced. And the more advanced AI gets, the more companies are able to make jobs redundant because the AI tools and softwares are often cheaper than real employees. Unfortunately, it's not how hard you work, but it's the amount of impact you're able to have on the business and your team. And unfortunately, for manual QA, it's just not an activity that scales very well. So it tends to be relatively low impact work. And that's why when companies start to cut, that's exactly where they'll look. You need to start automating your tests rather than performing them manually. That's how you create leverage, build scalable impact, build career capital, the kind of factors that make you harder to replace. Number 1 is to carve out time and focus on automating your tests, even if you can do them manually. Even if doing it manually is easier and it takes more time. Why would you choose a method which is more difficult and more time consuming? Well, the reason why it's important to prioritize and emphasize automating your workload rather than doing it manually is because in the long term, it's going to be a win for you and a win for the company. The reason it's a win for you is because you'll be developing the skills which are more difficult to develop than simply doing something the manual way. So the manual way is quick, it's easy, but it doesn't really involve much sophisticated skills, and we need to step into the realm of software engineering if we're going to be developing the hard skills which make us harder to replace in the future and enable us to create a higher value. For the business in the long run, if you're able to automate your tests, the impact is so much bigger. Instead of having to manually test something every time, you can run tests on schedule, you can run them in parallel, do 100 at a time. So the amount of impact you're able to have in the long term, if you invest in automating your tests, it's going to be so much higher than if you stick to the easy path of manual QA. So that's why you need to carve out time and prioritize it, even though at first it's going to be difficult, it's going to be uncomfortable, and it actually might take more time. This is especially important if the business is demanding that you stick to manual QA. You've got to realize manual QA is not going to take you anywhere in the long run. It's going to make you more likely to be made redundant. It's not really developing skills, but if you get your foot into automation, you're getting software engineering skills, you're going to learn how to think abstractly, you're going to be stepping your toes into real engineering and be on your way to making an impressive impact. Think of it this way. Imagine if your job was to do the laundry, but you want to wash every single thing by hand because it's a way you're used to doing it, and it's easier and it's quicker. Quicker compared to what? Quicker compared to building the actual laundry machine. But imagine if you actually put the effort into building the machine. After that, every time you need to wash your clothes, you would just chuck them in the machine and press a button. You're saving so much time in the long run, and your journey in building the machine, it's going to help you acquire some really impressive skills, so much more skills compared to if you were sticking to the old ways of washing everything by hand. So now that we understand why we need to learn this difficult yet rewarding skill, what are some ways that we can make life a bit easier for us? Well, that leads me to tip number 2. You've got to start using AI tools intentionally. If you're able to leverage the AI tools, you're going to learn everything so much quicker than you would have otherwise. And if you don't use the AI tools, how do you think you're going to compete with everyone else who is? The AI tools just cut your learning curve. You can ask them to explain difficult concepts. When you're stuck with a bug, you can go back and forth with AI. It is going to help you out. And it's really going to cut the learning curve from years to hopefully months. In a post-AI world, technical skills isn't as hard as it used to be. And the reason why you really have to jump on these tools and learn how to use them properly is because other people are using them. There's no way you're going to be competitive. There's no way you're going to be able to make a proper impact compared to the others if you're not using the modern tools. Imagine if you were a farmer many years ago and it was around the time that tractors were invented, but you're just used to using a spade or whatever they use and doing everything by hand. And when these technologies came, you were a bit slow to adapt, or maybe you didn't even want to adapt because you were so comfortable and you were attached to the craft the way you were doing it. Well, how do you think your productivity and your output and your impact is going to be compared to the other farmers who actually adopt the tractors and make use of the new technology? It's going to be close to nothing, and you're going to get left behind. So get on top of the tools. So not only prioritize learning automation and automate instead of doing manual, but in that process, incorporate AI into it. So use tools like ChatGPT and use LMs like ChatGPT, but also specialized tools like IDEs such as Cursor. If you're not using a tool like Cursor, just multiplies your productivity, and it's pretty unbelievable. So if you haven't got it, download those tools, incorporate them into your workflow, and learn how to use them intentionally. Even if your workplace is not paying for it, I would absolutely insist that you pay for those subscriptions yourselves, because the pro versions of ChatGPT and the pro version of Cursor requires a monthly subscription, but the investment is definitely worth it. So now that we've covered using tools to make the learning process easier, so that covers using AI tools to help us with our automation. But even though we know what to learn and we have the right tools, it can still be very hard. We're definitely going to run into hurdles. So that's why my next tip is to make sure you have mentors around you and you're able to learn off their expertise and their experience. Even if having the right people around you who are a few steps ahead of you, who you're able to bounce ideas off, it's going to make the world of difference, and it's going to make sure you're on the right track, and it's going to make sure you progress properly. Imagine if you're hiking a mountain, it's pitch black at night, and you're in a thick forest at the same time. You're trying to get to the top without a map. No matter how hard you try, how motivated you are, how much theory you know, and you've got the tools with you, you're going to be so lost compared to someone who's got a tool guide with them, who's done it. You've got a team around you who've done it before and can sort of show you the steps and can help you when you get stuck. That's the power of having people around you who can assist you on your journey. This can be a formal mentor at work. It can simply be people who are more senior than you. It can be other engineers, maybe they're the same ranking as you. Perhaps it comes from outside of work. You might join an online course or sign up for coaching or join a community online. But the point is, doing things solo is not going to be as fun or as effective as doing it in a team with other people. So to summarize, my tips are: 1, focus on automation even if it's harder and it takes more time, because in the long run, it's going to pay off for you and the company. 2, when you're focusing on automation, leverage the latest AI tools such as ChatGPT and Cursor to make yourself more effective, to make yourself a more effective automation engineer. Not only use the latest tools, but have access to mentors who can guide you along the way. So I hope that was useful, and good luck on your automation journey. If you found this video useful and you want to make sure that you're using AI tools correctly, then check out this video I made on making sure you're using AI in the right way to make yourself smarter rather than dumber. That's it for now, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.